Family, what it do? It's your girl Toot, and I am back with another video. Shout out to the squad. Drip said I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. I love y'all the long way. Thank you so much. Look, do me a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's all you got to do to support the channel, and it's absolutely free. So do it, damn it. Now, I just want you guys to know, starting off, because sometimes my mouth is a little reckless. The things that are said on this channel is my opinion and my opinion only. They don't belong to nobody else. People might agree with it though, but they don't belong to nobody but me. That's all. So look, we're about to get into these transcripts. Now, if you've been following me all week, we've been kind of revisiting some of the preliminary hearing testimony that I missed. And we're also going through some of the transcripts that was also submitted. Now, I'm in totally agreement. I feel like sometimes the book is always better than the movie. When you see things in black and white, you just have a completely different perspective not to misunderstand anything. You feel me? So right now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the testimony of Tashana Davis. Now, this is the fiance of Jarvis Butts, okay? And we're going to get into that, and then we're going to get into a couple more before we have a Juneteenth after party. Happy Juneteenth to everybody in the chat. Text somebody who you ain't talked to in a long time and just tell them you love them. You know, y'all been beefing for far too long. Let this shit go now. Now listen, I'm on this stellar road, so I'm gonna try to read legibly as I can. Okay. Now let's get into it. At this time, the people called Tashana Davis. You know, the raise your hand, swear the truth, all of that. You know what I mean? Watch your step, all of that stuff. Now, here we go. Question, could you state your name for the record, ma'am? She said Tashana Davis. And Miss Davis, I just want to ask you about someone by the name of Jarvis Butts. Do you know that person? Yes, I do. And how do you know Mr. Butts? He was my fiance. I don't know. How in the hell? And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today? Now, unlike everybody else, she recognized him. Could you point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing? And you know the outfit he had on. Now, for the record, the witness has identified Jarvis. Now she says, and how long you said he was your fiance? Yes. How long in total have you known Mr. Butts? For 4 years. Since 2019. 2019. Is that a yes? Yes. And when did you become engaged? 2023. Shannon out here popping out kids. Shannon that just had a kid when he got engaged. Shannon, you better tell on this nigga. Look, you better tell for the culture. This man is running you through the ground. If he did it and you know, if you don't tell on that man and take some of your energy back, because boy, stop. All right, he said, and can you tell us a little bit about the nature of the relationship? Do you have any children with him? And she said, no. He said things like that, no children. And would Mr. Butts sometimes stay over your house? She said, yes. How often would that happen? Pretty often, but we didn't live together. Okay. I want to take your attention back to January of 2024 and February of 2024. Did there come a time when Jarvis Butts asked you to drive him to court? Yes. Now, see, the thing that is crazy is that this man is playing like he don't have transportation just so that he's able to manipulate them about his whereabouts. I want you guys to understand how manipulative this nigga really was. If he doesn't have a car, then unless they pick him up, he don't have access to get there, which leads him to be able to have a double, triple, quadruple, quintuple life. So I want everybody to stay on the same page because this nigga here was different. Okay. And so she says, was there a time when they asked you to drive him to court? She says, yes. And when was that? February 7th of 2024. Yes. And was there a time before that you had to drive him to court? And she said, yes. And when was that? January. I think it was the 9th. Okay. It was January though. So have you at least driven him to court twice? Yes. And let's talk about the January 9th that you drove him. What was the reason he wasn't driving himself? Why were you driving him? Because he thought he was going to have to turn himself in, then for another case, and then they rescheduled it. Now, stop it right here. This also may be a perfect example on why they can't say premeditated. He didn't even know they were going to pretty much give him another court date. So he was actually going to court that day or going to the jail that day with the thought process that he would be locked up. So you got to ask yourself, if this was in fact January 9th, the day that she said she took him to court. And I'm going to be honest with you right now, all of this is questionable as far as the dates, because you know, the flyer, the poster, her description of her clothes, everything, a lot of stuff is just not what it seems. So if this was January 9th, we got to also understand on this particular day, right? Or whatever, on this particular day, his sister also came up to the shop. He also worked on the car with King. He has a very jam-packed day for January 9th. Because he had to go to court that morning, come back to the shop, help King with the car, let NaZiyah go with him. The sister was there. It's a lot of things that he had done on that date. So I just want us to keep in mind everything that's going on. All right. So, and let's talk about the 9th day. Why were you driving it? Because he thought he was going to have to turn himself in for another case, and then they rescheduled it. Okay. So on the 9th, he was supposed to turn himself in, but didn't actually end up doing that. Correct. Okay. And then on the 7th, did he ask you to drive him to court again? Yes. And what was the reason that you drove him to court? Because he was supposed to turn himself in. And did he end up turning himself in on the 7th? Yes. Now, I want you to pay attention to another important date. As you see on February 7th, Jarvis was in jail. All right? Listen. On February 7th, Jarvis was already in jail. Keep that in mind. Okay, when you were driving him on the 7th of February 2024, first, what kind of car do you drive? 2005 Suburban. And what color is it? Tan. And when you were driving him to court, who else was with you, if anyone? Nobody. Now, I want you to also understand, we're missing the car. Now, we have all seen Jarvis in an all-white Escalade with tinted windows and rims. It's amazing to me why he had to borrow the baby mama car. Why? He's acting like he don't got no car. But in actuality, he is driving to these people's houses and just parking around the street. Now, he's able to manipulate these folks, or not even manipulate the folks. At this point, the women were just knowing. Because a lot of the women even knew that he was parking around the street. But just whatever. So, and when you were driving him to court, who else was with you, of anyone? Nobody. Just you and Mr. Butts? Yes. And when you were driving him to court, did you ask him about his cell phone? Yes. What did you ask him? I said, where's your phone? And what is his response when you asked him that question? He left it at home. Now, we know that he did not leave it at home. We all watched King's testimony. We knew that he had already hid that bad boy in the back. You know what I'm saying? He had already hid that motherfucker in the back because he wanted King to be able to get the phone, okay? Or whatever. So let's keep it going. So that's a lie for no reason. He left it at home is a lie. And did you have any other conversation regarding his phone on the 7th when you were driving him to court? No. And when you said he did turn himself in? Yes. And so you drove back home, correct? Yes. Did you eventually have some contact with the police department? Yes. And where were you when you had that contact? In the hospital. And what did they ask you about generally? Did I know anything about a missing child? And do you know anything about a missing child? No. Did they ask you about his cell phone? Yeah, I believe so. And did you know or have any reason to believe other than what Jarvis told you, that his phone was someplace else? No. And did you know that his phone was in your car? No. Did you give permission to the police to search the car? No. They just came and took it. Now, we'll get into it in a minute. All right. They had a search warrant. Yes. Okay. And were you present at your house when they came and took your car? No. And did you observe them search through your car and pull anything out? No. Okay. So Mr. Makepeace say, okay, may I have one moment, Judge? The court, yes. Continuing. And you said you knew Jarvis Butts for 4 years. Yes. And you would communicate with him via cell phone? Yes. And do you know the last 4 digits of his phone number, if you remember? And she gave the number. I think it's 9715. Ain't that it? It's some shit like that. That's a damn shame I could call this nigga. All right, so look. If you don't remember, I don't remember. Okay. Would you look at, we're looking at text messages, refresh your memory. She said, yes, he approaches or whatever. If you could just look at the phone number there, the first one, and does that refresh your memory? Yes. So it's 8719. I knew it was something like that shit. And that was the last 4 digits of Jarvis Butts' phone number. Yes. At some point after you dropped Jarvis Butts off at the courthouse and he turned himself in, did you go to his place of employment on 9,000 Connors? She says no. Now, this is where it's weird to me. Because King definitely said that she brought the car up there and he was actually looking for the phone for Jarvis but couldn't find it. And we know this based upon even a conversation that King even had with Jarvis. Before King confirmed that happened, Jarvis called him from jail, you know what I'm saying, and told him to call the girl and bring the car up there and act like it was something that needed to be serviced just so he can get the phone. So by her saying that she never brought the car up there is very fucking weird to me. And if anybody been following this case, I'm pretty sure that you understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, it goes on. Okay. Did you ever talk to his business partner, Cordell Wright? No. So here's the thing. Somebody's lying. Either her or King. Because King definitely said that he called that girl for her to come up there and service that car. So now it makes me say, is King in cahoots to a certain extent? Now, I'm still having a problem really feeling that King was involved in the actual unalivement. I didn't really even see King having relations with NaZiyah. Could he be a pedo? Hell yeah. They all flocked together. Definitely. I just didn't really know if I felt that King touched any of the kids that we know of. Now, he might have done some, but I just didn't get that from him. So, as we know right now, that somebody is fucking lying. So, Mr. Makepeace said, I have nothing further, Judge, and now we got the cross-examination. So, here, the question is, good morning and all of that good stuff. You met Mr. Butts at Frank's garage, is that right? Yes. And that's where Mr. Butts was working for about 4 years ago. Yes. You had taken your car there. Yes. And I think in your words, you said you King of never left after you met him. Is that fair to say? I don't know what they're trying to say. Maybe they say never met after you. I don't know what they're trying to say. Yes. And you guys got along really well. Yes. And you just kind of started a relationship from there. Yes. Would you go up to the garage after the relationship started? Yes. Kind of just to drop in. Yes. At any point in time while you were at Frank's garage, did you ever see any children there? No. Is it fair to say that Mr. Butts was very protective of his phone around you? Yes. He would never let you see his phone. No. He wouldn't give you access. No. Wouldn't give you his passcode or anything. In fact, you actually actively tried to get into his phone, right? Yes. I think you had mentioned that when he was sleeping, you tried to kind of wave it in front of him. Yes. To see if that would unlock it. Uh-huh. You took a picture of his face once and tried to. Yes. Put the screens together. So you wanted to know what was in his phone. Bro, bro, bro. These women was daffy than the fuck, bro. There is no way in the world. You understand me? Like, what the hell is going on? Miss SMK2U, thank you so much for the super chat. Leah Paris, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Parker, thank you, boo. Hey, this is some crazy ass shit. She was trying everything. And he did not want you to know what was in his phone. No. As far as you know. Is that a yes? Yes. Did you ever talk to him about why he was so secretive with his phone? Yes. And does it have something to do with the fact that he was seeing other ladies? Yes. And so you had suspected that at the time. Yes. And so that's why you were looking for proof, correct? Correct. Okay. So even though you suspected that Mr. Butts was unfaithful to you, you still stayed with him? Yes. One reason for that is because he was good with the kids. Yes. Now that's some shit that didn't age well. She was liking this nigga because he was good with kids, and she had no earthly idea what he was doing with kids. And you are married, you are engaged to this nothing nigga. Ain't that some sick shit? You feel me? One reason for that is because he was good with the kids. Yes. He cared for your kids. Yes. Took them places. Yes. He took your son up to the shop. Yes. He showed him how to change the oil in the car. Correct. Now, this is crazy. The nigga wouldn't even take his own sons to the shop, but he was taking Janiyah and NaZiyah in Brooklyn. But then he got in front of her face and was acting like a completely different nigga. Which is crazy. Because that's how these folks begin to your kids. You feel me? All he was doing was grooming. I don't like this dude. He a nasty dog dude, dog. Straight up. He showed him how to change the oil in the car. Correct. And you viewed him as a good father figure. Yes. This nigga got 13 kids. 3 that we know that he's touched, that we know of. And she has the impression of him as being a good father figure. Do you not understand this type of shit? She already said 4 sentences above that she was trying to get in this nigga phone to find proof that he was fucking with other women. But 5 lines down, you say this nigga was a good father figure. Did you see anything inappropriate or that would cause you to see a red flag with regard to him and your children? No. Did you ever see him acting inappropriately with any other children? No. Certainly if you had, you would not have allowed him in your house. Absolutely not. I don't know if I believe you. You knew that Mr. Butts had other children, right? Yes. With a woman named Angel? Yes. And a woman named Shannon? Yes. He talked to you about his children with you? Yes. Did he ever talk to you about his niece? No. About how often would Mr. Butts stay with you on any given week? Maybe like twice. So twice a week she stayed with her fiancé. There gotta be a block that all these type of women live on. To where he just went over there and just got the same type of female. Because there ain't no fucking way, dog. There just ain't no way. Alright, so look. Maybe like twice. Were they like the same days or was it random? Random. Okay. About what time would he come over? After his work hours. After like 6. Ma'am, who gonna tell her? He was never at work till 6. Ma'am, you been so damn duped. That is crazy. After his work hours, after like 6. Okay. So you think he would come straight from work. Even this motherfucker don't believe him. No, he would probably do something else and then be there later on that night. Okay, so answer like closer to like 9 or 10. Yes. Okay, would he stay the night with you? To about 2 in the morning. I'm so sorry, because the more I read these transcripts, the more I'm able to piece more shit into the puzzle. Damn, Steph, thank you so much with the super chat. I'm able to piece more stuff together. Now, can we go back? To a text messages with NaZiyah? It was about 2:30 in the morning. He was texting her, and he said, "Come outside real quick." And y'all remember that text message when NaZiyah was like, "Did you ask him if I could go?" Now he left her house. He went right to NaZiyah's house. This lady think this man is a good father figure and shit. And listen, she said that he would get over there around 10 and leave at 2. That's 11, 12, 1. That's 4 hours. That's a part-time shift at Subway. Nigga, he would be leaving her house and going straight to Shannon's. Say I'm fucking lying. Say I'm lying. For the people who know, we looked at them, man, we know the truth. Shit. All right, anyway. To about 2 in the morning, 3, and then he would leave. Okay. Do you know how he would get to your home? A couple of times he was in a white truck, a white Cadillac truck. Sometimes I think he would walk. If he was coming straight from the shop, he would walk. Or if he had my truck, that's how he would get back and forth. Now, it's a shame that she thought her fiancé's white Cadillac truck probably belonged to somebody else other than him. Whole time, that's his truck. But that's your fiancé, and that's the man that you are allowing to raw dog your ass in the wee hours of the night. And you know nothing about him. Nuts and butts all in your face, and you don't even trust this nigga. He is parking his car like women. No, we got to do so much better. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? No, we can't just skip over this part. We can't. Lady, you are trying to put phone to phone up to get in his phone. You don't trust this man. You are feeling like something ain't right with this man. And you are letting this nigga put his entire private cavity in you raw. He's your fiance, but he's at your house 4 hours a week, once a week, maybe twice on a good night. If NaZiyah or any other children can't get out the house. I'm just asking y'all, why do y'all let these type of niggas in y'all home and not understand why it goes wrong? The fuck? Yo, Tashana, shame on you. You making women across the world look fucking horrible. Okay. If he was coming straight from the shop, he would walk, or if he had my truck, that's how he would get back and forth. That's the Suburban. Yes. Did you know Mr. Butts to ever have his own vehicle? Yes. He had a white Chrysler truck. Van light. I'm so sorry, y'all. This lady was a whole fiance and don't even know her man got a car. Yes, he had a white Chrysler truck van light. Okay. When did you know him to drive that? Like maybe the first 2 years we was together. Okay. Now, when Mr. Butts would come visit you, would he park in your driveway? Yes. Would he spend weekends with you also? Yes. I don't believe that. A weekend is consecutive, Friday through Sunday. I feel like his weekend with you would consist of coming over Friday, chilling with you and kids for a couple hours, go out, come back Saturday morning, maybe afternoon, depending on what he did the night before. See, that's spending the weekend. Not come over your house every day in the weekend, lady. See, they need to, now they got to dumb down the questions because I don't think they understand. All right, so we got to redirect. They say, Miss Davis, I just have a couple of more questions for you. Miss Quick asked you about Mr. Butts being secretive with his phone. Can you tell me about a time that you had a conversation with him about him being secretive or something like that? She says, he would never really say anything. He talk in circles. So if you try to ask him a question, it's just always, you can never get a straight answer out of him. Something like, listen here, bitch. You must be a newcomer or something. You know what I mean? You going through my phone and shit, and you wonder why. I just stay over your house 4 days, 4 hours at a time. The conversation went just like, I'm just telling you how it went. The fuck? Shit. Don't kill me. He was just talking circles. You know what I'm saying? You can never get a straight answer out of him. But fair enough. You had multiple conversations about, yes, his phone and your access to it, I guess. Yes. Or lack thereof. Yes. And Miss Quick also asked you about Mr. Butt staying over the night or staying the night at your house. And you said he would leave around 2 o'clock a.m. Now they did what I did. They got all them text messages. They seen some of them text messages was like around 2 o'clock. So we know for a fact, some of them nights he had just left Tashana's. Oh, some real nigga shit. And also, Quick asked you about Mr. Butt staying over the night and staying at your house and he would leave around 2 o'clock. Is that a yes? Yes. Do you know where he would go when he would leave? No. Told y'all. I missed my calling. I should have been a detective, dog. Because if I'm a detective and I seen them texts, this is like to me. All right. That's why they asked, do you know where he went afterwards? Because I'm telling y'all, we on the money. Fuck what they saying. We do a better job than the DPD. Listen, let's get into it. Did he ever tell you where he was going? Home. Did you know where himself called home? Yes. Where was that at? Wilshire. And it was another woman over there in Wilshire too. For her to be engaged to this nigga, she knew absolutely nothing. And you said he would walk from his place of employment if he was coming straight from there, right? Yes. How far that on Connors, the auto shop on Connors, do you live? How far of a walk? No, that was when he was on Warren and Neff. Yes. How far the walk from that location? Like 4 blocks. And did you ever see him drive but not park in your driveway or in front of your house? Yes. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Tell me a little bit about that too, sir. Because how can you see your man, your fiancé, your man, who you over here, listen to y'all, help me understand this. This lady over there washing her ass, getting ready for her man to come so she can get her son because she only see him once a week. So you know she trying to give him some and he really don't want it. But this is how she's setting it up. She probably got candles and shit and then sprayed the Bath and Body Works on her. Now, lady, you did all of that and you noticed that your man parked over there. And he walking to your house like he walking from work, like he just not get out of car. That wouldn't be a red flag to you? You would still jump on this nigga's nutsack? I'm only saying this because, ladies, if you are in this comment section right now and you are doing that, I want you to stop now, immediately. Don't do that, please. I'm here to tell you, sis. It's Juneteenth. I feel like it's my due diligence to tell you the truth on this black day. You look dumb. Stop it. It's beyond me. And did you ever see him drive, but not park in your driveway or in front of your house? Yes. And you still need proof? You still need proof. Bitch, what else you need? He won't let you go in his phone and he is parking 5 blocks away. Hell, this job is closer than when he parked. Y'all gotta chill with this. This shit is making me upset. Now, she said yes. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Yes. He parked around the corner and he would walk to my house. And do you know when he was in the white Cadillac truck? You said Cadillac? Yes. Okay. Was that an Escalade, if you know? I don't know. Sis, you know. Sis, when it come down to shit like this, y'all folks will know about this. Now listen, this is when the other baby mama comes in. Because he probably wasn't really worried about Shannon seeing his car. Because he could tell Shannon he was going to a girl's house. And Shannon would say, yes, babe. But the other baby mama with the glasses, he was hiding his car from her. Because she would go and look for him. I can see her looking for him. So Tashana and the other lady, them was the motherfuckers while he was playing hide the car. Because even the other baby mama said he did the same shit. He had parked down the street. He knew Tashana was on to his scent. Yo, if you just look at this shit, you can see all the answers in pure HD. Alright, so, okay. Escalade truck, I don't know. Okay. And do you know the reason he would park around the corner? I don't know. I asked him, and he would just be like, I didn't drive. But then you would see his truck. I would see the truck. May I have a moment, George? I need a moment, too. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm reading this shit right. And do you know the reason why he would park around the corner? I don't know. I would ask, and he would just be like, I didn't drive. But then you would see his truck. I would see the truck. And you would let him in? You would let him in the house? And you would still let the nigga in the door? You know what, at this point, I don't even blame Jarvis. I blame y'all. He told Shannon what he was in the beginning. Shannon said, okay. You know, if society gave him a second chance, I should too. He'll park his car around the corner. You would see the truck. He would tell you, I walked. And you would let him in the crib. I can't. He says, one last question. You said he lived or called home on Wilshire. Yes. Have you ever been to that house? Yes. Have you ever been inside that house? No. Bro, in 4 years' time, she ain't never been in the inside of this nigga's home. And guess what? He barely was in hers. I'm so sorry, y'all. But it's Juneteenth. So we got to be honest. Tashana Davis, you stupid. You stupid as fuck. Hey, Yana said nothing further. Hey, look. It's not fun. Hey, I'm so sorry. It is not funny, but it is fun. Sus. I gotta listen. Nah. You're telling me it's not funny. Now look, I got it. We coming up this video. We finna get to the next one. I can't stand that. Look, I am a sister girl. I am a girl's girl. However, when a girl is doing obnoxious shit like this, it is my duty to tell her the truth. I am doing her a disservice by not laughing hard. And let me explain why. We went through almost 9 pages of shit, okay? And girls and women sometimes want you to have a heart for their heartbreak. And in most cases, I do. In this case, I will not. You know why? Because she answered all of the questions on why she's insecure in this goddamn transcript. I cannot feel sorry from that. Listen what she said on the last thing right here. The question was, do you know the reason why he would park around the corner? I don't know. I asked and he would just be like, I didn't drive. But you will see that he had drove. Yes. And you will let this motherfucker in your house. Yes. I'm sorry, sis. I'm not a girl's girl when it comes down to that. Because if you scan up even before that, we had issues. And when you get down to the last question, and I want you to understand this shit. He asks her, have you ever been in this nigga's house? She says, no. You've been with this nigga for 4 years, okay? And you have never been in this man's house. He's barely spent time in yours. You admitted that he's at your house 4 hours once a week, okay? Everything you need to know, sis, you know already. I can't have a heart for you for some shit like that. You know what I mean? Because that's just pure 90 dummy. And I'm going to tell you the truth. My grandmother would have told her she was dumb. So in the name of Juneteenth, this woman was stupid and I'm sorry. Now look, I don't know what else you want me to do. Like for real. Y'all stay tuned. We finna get into the next video. I ain't finna feel sorry for no shit like that.